We're live and excited to be here. Well, I took in too much oxygen into my lungs. Oh my goodness, I promise I am not tired. I am over oxygenated, and that caused me to yawn. Wake it up, get your coffee, and come on and hang out. Today is Thursday, right?
Yep.
And we're going to talk about the power of imagination. We are going to be right back.
Imagine all the people.
In a moment.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for hanging out with us today.
What's wrong with you?
I'm getting too much oxygen in. Every time I say, I want to yawn, I don't know why, and I'm not sleepy. I assure you guys, I am wide awake and ready to go.
You wide awake?
I am wide awake.
Where your body at?
I am. My body is awake too. That yawn is a reflex of some sort. I don't know. But anyway, good morning, Miss Phyllis. Good morning to you guys. I love Thursday.
Did I just hear you say that Miss Phyllis is here?
Yes, it's Thursday. It's Friday Eve for those of you working for the weekend. And I am grateful.
Which I want you to stop doing. There's 7 days in a week, not 2.
There are 7 days in a week. Son las 7 días en la semana. Son las 7 días en la semana. There are 7 days in the week.
Well, if you didn't know, Lisa has been boning up on her Spanish, using the apps to do it, having a great time doing it as well.
I used to teach Spanish. That's song to my son.
We're moving to, we think we're going to go to Puerto Rico next year for a little while. For another year or two.
Good morning, Miss Vivian. You're bouncing from page to page, okay? You don't have to. You can put your seatbelt on and lock it in right here. But
we're talking today about the power of imagination. You know, Einstein has great quotes around the word imagination.
It's just my imagination.
Once again, come on now.
Running away with me.
Imagination is more important than what is the words? I gotta look up the exact quote. But he's talking about imagination over IQ or something like that.
Over intelligence?
Over intelligence, yes. Imagination is more powerful than intelligence.
I got another young coming. They're just coming back
I'm
to back.
I'm gonna send you to bed. You need some coffee? You want to sip my coffee?
They're coming back to back, and I'm not. I don't know why. I don't understand the yawn in my life. You don't have nothing on that coffee.
I don't put nothing in my
coffee.
Right.
No, I will not.
Do I need to put something in it?
You need some sugar. You need some flavor.
No.
You need some creamer. You need some stuff to make it drinkable.
I'll put some liquor in it for you.
No, I don't want no liquor. So how are you using
I got the Jamaican cream stuff up there.
How are you using your imagination? How are you... Or first of all, why would you use your imagination? I mean, we're taught as when we start transitioning out of first grade, we're taught to get our heads out of the clouds. Mm-hmm. We're taught to stop all that daydreaming and pay attention. Mm-hmm. So why are we encouraging people to use their imagination?
Listen to what the dictionary defines imagination as. Imagination, the faculty or action of forming new ideas or images or concepts of external objects not present to the senses. I like the definition of imagination. Mm-hmm. It's the faculty or the action of forming new ideas or images or concepts of external objects not present to the senses.
Mm-hmm.
You can only see it in your imagination.
Absolutely.
None of your senses can pick up on it.
I agree. Good morning, brother George. He says, good morning. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream is the way to go.
That's the kind of girl I need down with my team. That's what I got right here.
I have cream.
Yeah, but you
and I have sugar.
You have to be that to rhyme, baby.
I understand. I cannot help you though. I have cream and sugar all right here.
Maybe he's saying black coffee as a concept, not a skin color.
Uh-huh.
That's what I always
If
do.
that's the case, then I could have black coffee with sugar and cream in it, and it would still be considered black coffee. Like that waiter the other day said, I know you asked for black coffee, but some people ask for black coffee and then they ask for cream and then they ask for sugar. And I just wanted to make sure that you really wanted your coffee to be black.
That's what happened to us the other day. He said, quite like Lisa just said it, I always order black coffee with breakfast,
And that means
I don't need no cream and sugar, I just want black coffee. This guy wanted to bring a spoon and the other stuff anyway. I know you said black coffee.
I just wanted to make sure.
Because I'm not going to be making 1,000 trips back and forth getting you cream and sugar. That's basically what he's trying to convey.
Yes.
Natural creativity, stretching out of the mind. Yeah, Miss Vivian. It's such a big concept of how to use your imagination. I want to talk about how to use it. Because if you can't imagine what you want to have happen, but you can imagine what you don't want to have happen, guess which one are you moving towards? Guess which one you're going to get?
Yeah.
If you can keep imagining the undesired outcome, but can't imagine the desired outcome.
Yeah.
I can imagine my life being like this for 10 years more and then da-da-da-da-da. Or I can imagine my life being an amazing adventure for the next 10 years.
Using your imagination for you versus against you. Because I think that it's a matter of using, whether you're imagining good or bad, you're still using your imagination.
Yep. You don't get to not play. You got to play the game. You don't get to sit on the sidelines. Your imagination is activated daily and all day.
And so if you find yourself consistently imagining the worst, then how would you go about restructuring your imagination?
Good question. I thought about that. And I have a good answer for that too.
Great.
Okay. If you find yourself consistently imagining the worst, you're going to have to, this is Brian terminology, not dictionary terminology. You're going to have to trick your brain. Okay. You have to trick your brain into believing a different story. You're going to have to write down what you want to have happen, and you're going to have to infuse your mind with the images of what you want to have happen. For example, you're going to have to look up where you want to go, okay, and look at it for real, and think about what would it be like to go there or to live there. Last night I dozed off looking up Rincon, looking up Ponce, Rincon, Puerto Rico, Ponce, Puerto Rico, and Fajardo, Puerto Rico, and looking at real estate there. And I just decided there's this home in Rincon that goes for $1,250,000. That's perfect for Lisa and I. So that's the house we got to go get, baby. I was imagining driving down that street because it's the in-house on a street, on a no outlet street, just like what we live now. We have the in-house on the left on a no outlet street. And so is this house here. It's $1,250,000. It's 3 bedrooms, okay, but it has a detached mother-in-law suite downstairs with a separate kitchenette, has a swimming pool, and is a half a mile from the beach. It's 3 levels too, and on the 3rd level, it's just amazing views of the ocean to one side, and on the other side of the ocean is the views of the mountains. You can get either one. You got a great balcony, got great areas for me to sit and have my cigar. I can imagine sitting there in the cool of the day, in the shade, having my cigar while Lisa's out there in that pool.
George says imagination will take your marriage to another level.
That's right. Your imagination. George, I'm happy that you said that. Your imagination will take your marriage to another level. But it'll take everything else to another level. But let's stay with marriage for a moment. Can you see the type of marriage you want? Can you feel it? Like the Jackson song. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel what it would feel like to have the marriage that you're wanting versus maybe the marriage that you don't want?
Yeah, I think that using your imagination is worth the exercise that it may take. Some of us have a stronger predilection towards imagining the worst.
And that makes sense because the negative influence is natural and it comes first. If you don't take control of your imagination, you'll think negatively all the time, and you'll imagine the worst. Oh man, I'm gonna confess something here. Yesterday morning, I woke up remembering the worst moment of my life. When I was at the lowest and scared and lost and everything was messed up. Why was that in my head in the morning? Not my head, not me, someone positive like me. Why would that be in my head? And I was battling to get it out of my mind, and I found I couldn't just stop thinking about that. I had to start thinking about something else.
Yeah.
I had to choose something else to think about. I couldn't just drop it.
Yeah, you have to replace it.
I had to replace it.
You have to replace it. Just like those songs that get in your head, just like those
songs that get in your head. You can't just stop thinking about the song once it's in your head. You got to replace it with a whole new song to get rid of the other one.
Absolutely.
That's genius, actually.
Yeah, replacing it. That's also what they say about habits, is that instead of trying to get rid of a bad habit, you
replace it with a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just instead of quit smoking, walking more, Well,
when I quit smoking cold turkey, but I used what?
Go ahead, baby. Tell your story.
I quit smoking cold turkey.
What?
But I replaced it with dum-dums, those little dum-dum lollipops.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. I have beautiful teeth,
yes,
and I didn't want to start getting cavity teeth. So I only gave myself a short period of time with the dum-dums. I think it was like 5 days, and then it was nothing.
Well, you do have great teeth.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But that's sometimes you can do that because you get to the place where I'm stronger than this cigarette, or I'm not doing it no more. Like when you put down cocaine, you've been very transparent about telling the story about how you put down cocaine.
Absolutely.
Pastor Webb tells a story about how he was able to get rid of alcohol. He prayed that God take the taste of alcohol from him. And he did. God took the taste of alcohol from him. Yeah,
the cocaine was a little bit different for me. It was more of it was really a transformation. Honestly, it was a admonishment from God when I heard him say, so you're going to take the old you on a new journey. And it was like, dang, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Our friend Dr. Beverly says, hello, family, marriage. I know what I want and desire, but it's hard to help people to understand those things when I realize that they aren't qualified for me to check the boxes. Yes, I have a list. What if I can't do it quite like the song goes, but what if everything you thought was real, you found out that it was wrong? What if all the stuff that we thought we wanted turns out not to be what we needed? I don't know.
Good morning, Rochelle. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Rochelle, I was imagining you, dreaming of you coming to our home and giving us chess lessons. Because Rochelle's an instructor. I want you to come to the hizzy, Rochelle, and give us lessons. What we got to do to arrange that.
I don't know if I want to learn chess.
I do. I know how to play chess, and I could beat some people, but a lot of people can beat me. And I haven't played chess regularly in a very long time, but I got to a level of proficiency. But I want to take real lessons. I never had real lessons. Old stuff on New Journey. There's that book, Lisa. You have given us what? 10 book titles? 30? 100 book titles? Lisa Santiago McNeill, cocaine was a hell of a drug. Wasn't it? Rick James.
It was. And I'm grateful that that lifestyle is behind me, if you will. I spent probably 10 years using cocaine, if you will.
But that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
That was a different woman. Let's do a Brian Chess lessons. What about if you got some time this weekend? Friday's coming right on schedule. Saturday's coming right on schedule. Sunday's coming right on schedule, bro. Let's say when. And then you can hang out with us. Just hang, you know what I mean?
Ms. Vivian said, yes, so much money.
Yeah, spending on that drug. But here's something else we need to talk about too. To how to activate our imagination. Now, we all know we should be focusing on, or at least some of the time, imagining the life we desire, or imagining what we want to have happen, right?
Yes.
Would you concede that?
Yes,
we should be spending some time daily doing that.
Absolutely. Beverly says, to be honest, for me, to be safe for me to love unconditionally, for me to learn to build, if I can't trust you, then I'm not safe with you. If you can't be honest with me, then how can I learn from you? If we can't build together, why are we wasting time? I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't either. And I hope whomever the gentleman is that you're talking about can pick up on this message too. Whoever that is, I hope he gets it too. Yeah, because Lisa and I, we want that for you, Dr. Beverly. We want it for all our friends to find that love, to find that mate. We want that. We bug out on the quality of our friends that have not yet gotten that. Or at least I bug out on it. Where was I going with this thing? Oh yeah. We need to spend some time how to activate your imagination. There are 2 critical times where it's more important than any other time of the day. That's when you're about to go to fall off to sleep, when you're going to bed and you're drifting off to sleep, and when you're just transitioning from sleep into full waking, when you're waking up. That is right now, since you're awake, you're moved around, you put on clothes, you brushed your teeth. At least I hope you have. Your brain is operating in a level that's called beta. That is our active waking level. We can be responsive to stuff, and everything is awake on your body. All your limbs, all your organs, everything is awake. Okay. But when you're sleeping, some stuff shuts down. Okay. Because you don't need to be able to run and jump while you sleep. Okay.
Or you don't need your body to. You can do it in your mind.
Yes, you don't need your body to. Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
So, but as you're drifting from waking to sleeping, that is moving into what's a level called an alpha level. Alpha level is when your brain is the most receptive to input. That's when you can program yourself the best, or someone else can program you the best when you're falling asleep or when you're just waking up. That's why it's critically important to manage what you're willing to take in right before bed and right when you wake up. In other words, oh my God, you ain't supposed to watch the news right before bed. Last night, I watched the game. I was in my garage because it rained terribly here yesterday, and I watched the basketball game, but then I came in, I decided to watch the rest of the game, the last quarter, inside my living room on TV. And I watched the game, the wrong team won. So I was a little bit disappointed. So I was on my phone and I didn't turn the channel. It was on ABC. I didn't turn the channel. And I'm falling asleep already. I'm nodding. I'm ready to go to bed. And I didn't change the channel and the news popped on. And the first thing the newscaster says, a little girl is killed by a car and da-da-da. I'm like, where's the remote? God, it was just too much. Like a bombardment. Killed in a car accident and a house fire and this and like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch the news at all. I don't watch channels. I don't watch television. I watch controlled
That's right.
stuff because I can't let those things slip in. I was actually watching something yesterday and it was pretty much kind of along the lines of a Lifetime movie.
Did we read that?
Not yet.
Okay.
A Lifetime movie So, always sweet, always loving, all of this, kumbaya. At the end, they get together and everybody's happy, right? But there was a scene that came on right as I was drifting off to sleep. And that scene, unfortunately, set the tone for my imagination, which was really kind of unsettling. There was a fire, and so it just sent me down the road. So Beverly said there isn't one. That's why my list hasn't been checked. Talking to you about the guy, I hope he picks up on it, right?
Right.
She said there isn't one. That's why my list has not been checked yet. I don't have time to waste time, and I can't get wasted time back. I spent most of my life being somebody's mother. I spent the rest of my life growing somebody else's son up, and now it's time for Beverly.
I get it, and I agree. All of that.
She said that she does keep a paper and pen next to her everywhere she goes or when she's asleep, because when she wakes up, her imagination runs. Absolutely, I get that. And Ms. Vivian, we can't see your emojis on the main screen. I am seeing the funny faces and everything that you're sending, the perplexed faces. And Beverly goes on to say, for instance, I could look at a blade of grass and then watch the rain hit the grass, and then spiritually say to myself, when it rains, something is growing. Yeah. Amen. So that is called Visio Divina.
Woo! Check out Lisa with the big brain.
You're funny. That is reflecting on something in the natural and visually, and allowing the spirit to give a divine understanding of it. And I love that. I love to do Visio Divina.
We got our girl Rochelle in the room too. When you say stuff like Visio Divina, and the line I just used, check out the big brain on Lisa. For extra point, what movie did that come from? Check out the big brain on Brad. That's right. You're smart.
I do not know.
You don't know the movie?
No. Visio is Visio, but yes, Visio Divina.
The Vizio is the TV.
Yeah.
Imagination is more important than intelligence. Mm-hmm. Imagination over I love Albert Einstein quotes. I quoted something from Albert Einstein on one of my trainings yesterday. Oh man, let me tell you about my training. One of my clients yesterday. It was a new client, and he brought his boss with him. Okay, now, well, actually, his boss wanted to sit in because his boss was paying for the session. Okay, so here's the scene. I'm on this side of the camera, and then I'm looking at the screen. My client that I'm there to train is right on the left side, and on the right side, but behind him is his boss. Okay, so his boss is watching us go through a sales training class. Now, the boss, when he first comes in, he introduces himself, and I introduce myself, and I said to him, and he says to me, so what qualifies you to be doing this training here today? I said, and he said, and how long you been doing this? And I said, this is my first day. I read a book last week, and I think I'm okay, you know, and I held it for a little bit, and he didn't think it was funny. Okay, so I had to tell him what it was. And then I said, but you'll be fine. It's okay. I said, now, are you willing to be participatory in this session? He goes, to an extent. And he's really, really pompous. You know, the boss is watching this training go on. Oh. And he was making my client nervous because my client couldn't help but look back at him again. And I was like, I kept trying to calm him down. But it ended up being a great session. And then near the end, the boss, he says, well, because I said, y'all hold on. I got to go wash my hands. I came back and he says, well, we've been talking about you. I said, okay. He goes, I got to admit, I'm very, very skeptical guy. I was very skeptical when I got here. I was thinking there's no way you're going to be able to teach us something I don't already know. But you were really good, you know, and I'm glad that you're doing it. You've been great. He says, I've been in sales and I've been in business for 30 years. I know what I'm talking about, but you brought some really, really good stuff.
That's awesome.
It was awesome, but I wasn't scared of him. I know what I got.
That's awesome. Beverly says, Visio Divina. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Pastor George goes on to say, last year, my wife and I were diagnosed with COVID.
Ooh.
I told her the first thing that we are going to do is turn off the news because everything was COVID and death. And you guys are talking my language today. Woo woo, yes.
I'm so glad we're talking your language.
Vivian goes on to say Vizio. That's right.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Beverly, it was Pulp Fiction.
Yes. So Visio Divina is simply Latin for divine seeing or divine vision.
I like it. Dr. Deborah Dustin's
Good
in there.
morning. Good morning, Dr. Deborah. Thank you for
Dr.
joining
Deborah,
us.
we're talking about the power of imagination. And Dr. Beverly's been bringing it this morning, too. I'm telling you. And Rochelle Gray has been bringing it as well. The power of imagination. Good morning, Stephanie Morris.
Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Stephanie. Thank you for joining
Thankful
us this
Thursday is
morning.
what she's shouting out. But the power of your imagination. Your imagination is more powerful than your intelligence. Hear that clearly. That's a quote from Albert Einstein.
Absolutely.
I was going to tell you the second quote I used from Einstein this week.
Okay.
Einstein said, because this guy went to boss again. He wanted to use all these industry jargon terms to sound smart. And I said, Einstein said, and you tell me if you think he was true or not. If you can't explain what you're talking about to a 4-year-old so that the 4-year-old could understand it, that means that you don't really know it. Okay. And he harumphed that. Okay.
Harumph.
Yes, harumph. But if you can't explain it so that a 4-year-old can understand it, does that mean that you don't fully understand it yourself? Or was Einstein off? Is what I put it like. Maybe Einstein was mistaken when he said that. What do you think?
I have had conversations with people that were using their industry jargon and were using their
$5 words and 50-cent words would do.
they were using very, very convoluted explanations. And even after asking to revisit that, can you revisit that? Can you help me to, what does this really mean? Over and over and over again, I still had absolutely no idea what they were talking about. And I have a measure of intelligence.
Mm-hmm. That means their communication was off. I
had to decide to let them keep that information as some sort of a protection, because that's what I felt. I felt when you're explaining something in a way that people can't understand it, is often because you have a fear that is the only thing that separates you from them.
I'm with you on that.
Right? So you have a fear that's the curtain, if you will, that keeps you in your position of pompous and pious. And if someone actually understood you, then you would either be equal to or less than the other person.
Dr. Beverly says the power of imagination can heal you or it can kill you. It
can free you or it can box you in the power of imagination. You can see it before you see it, and you can speak your whole life into existence.
There's a story of a man working in a meat packing company. On Friday evening, when everyone's been going home for the weekend, he ended up having to go back into one of the freezer trucks to get something. And as he goes out into the freezer truck to get something, inadvertently the door closes and he can't get out. And he knew no one would come until Monday morning. So he's in there on a Friday in a frozen meat truck. And Monday he was dead, froze to death. Turns out, though, the temperature in that particular truck wasn't at freezing. It was 43 degrees. Okay.
Which meant he could be cold.
He could have been cold.
But he can't freeze.
But he thought it was freezing in there.
Yeah, you can be cold and not freeze.
That's true. But he thought himself to freezing to death. He imagined that outcome. It's like Dr. Beverly just said.
Absolutely. Dr. Deborah says, when I'm helping people to write grants for their nonprofits, I try to tell them to make the mission more direct. It should not take forever to explain, and it should not take a thesaurus and a dictionary and Wikipedia to understand. The mission needs to be clear, the problem needs to be clear, and the solution or your directive should not take 12 steps of the imagination.
it's a sea shift in our country. At one time, it was thought the big, long resume, the big, long description was the move. How many times have you and I submitted to speak somewhere or submitted, and they'll say very clearly, don't be sending me no daggone long.
I don't want your book. Don't want your book.
They say clearly, give us a brief this, a brief that, no more than 150 words this or that. They don't want a long anything. They want everything simple. They basically saying, don't send me no daggone long nothing. Even if they say they want your press kit, they don't want the full press kit. They want the really abbreviated. Why is that? It's just what it is today.
It is what it is.
It's just what it is, man. Oh, man. Melissa came into our clubhouse and she asked me to tell a story last night, and I didn't get around to doing it.
But the clubhouse was really interesting on yesterday. I enjoyed all of the talks. It was a little bit different than what I had expected or experienced in the past, but that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah, it's always different because the people are different.
Yeah, but also it seemed like their understandings of the room was different.
And you liked it.
I accepted it. It was okay.
Because I didn't like it at first, because
yeah,
it's supposed to be mindsets and motivations, but the speakers were doing a great job of selling themselves and what they do. And I was like, man, Brian, you're going to have to make that much more clear. But they all did do some mindset motivation. I would say they all did 75% promotion of themselves and what they do, and 25% mindset motivation.
I was going to go 10% mindset motivation, but okay, if you say 25%.
But it was still interesting, though.
It was still interesting, and I definitely enjoyed.
But I'm going to be harsher on my
Wednesday nights.
Yes. Look, this is what this is for. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, imagination, I think, is enhanced with visualization, which is also why I don't do no horror stories.
No, we don't watch horror films at all. But what we do watch is Caribbean Life. We do watch that. Typically lunchtime with my wife, when we're able to have lunch together, which I'm always grateful when I have an opportunity to have lunch with my wife, because we do have dynamic lives. But when we get a chance to have lunch together, we like to put on Caribbean Life to get ourselves more fully infused with what it would look like. What would the process be? We get ourselves there. I know I do. Every time I always imagine if Lisa and I lived there, or how would we like that? Or would that work for us? You know, putting myself in there. And here's the beautiful thing about doing that to yourself on purpose. When you consistently imagine your desired outcome on purpose,
you create the vibrational energy that actually brings it towards you.
You get it all the time, all the time. When you needed a car, when you needed your first car, you were thinking about cars, you were looking at cars, you eventually got a car. When you needed a place to live, you were thinking about a place to live, you were looking for places to live, you got that too, okay? We always get what and I hope Dr. Beverly don't throw me on the ground for this, but eventually, I'm going to couch it actually. I'm not going to say always. Most of the time, whatever we're imagining deeply, we end up getting. Most of the time. Rochelle V. Gray says, really? Because of their thoughts are profound, I will look at their profile. What are you talking about?
Help me, restate that for me. I don't know if you use text to talk, but something is not hitting right on that statement, and I don't understand what it is. So, how do you improve your imagination to the purpose that you are intending to point it to? For example, Pastor George, he said that he and his wife had COVID last year. They turned off the TV. What did you replace it with? Did you replace it with they turned off the news, right? Did you replace it with something positive? Did you replace it with time together, encouraging one another? How did you replace it? Beverly says, so I don't understand why people badgered you about speaking to the universe about the thing you wanted to see in the present. It's called manifestation.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do. Manifestation is an important
word for Lisa. It's a guiding principle.
It's the most important element of what I do. So much so that you're going to see a lot less of all of the other stuff because manifestation is really the cornerstone of what I make possible. Is manifesting it.
Yes, it is.
Helping to shape your imagination so you take the blocks off, so you remove the limits, so you begin to see really and truly what you want, so that you can actually manifest it, so that you can identify the things that are keeping you from it. We're not going to spend a lot of time looking at those things. We're going to replace them with what you want to move you closer to what it is that you want. Dr. Deborah, absolutely. She says, that's why I'm so careful about imagining the worst, in parentheses, worrying, because most often you will bring to pass what you imagine. You become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And how often has that happened? It's happened enough for them to actually have coined the phrase self-fulfilling prophecy, right? They wouldn't have named it something if it was so abstract and didn't occur.
The imagination is the golden pathway to everywhere. It's the pathway, the golden pathway to everywhere is the imagination.
Absolutely. It's the road to get you to where it is that you want to be and to what it is that you really desire.
I like Thoreau stuff. Thoreau said nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm, but he also said the world is but a canvas to the imagination. The world is just a canvas to the imagination. Every business you see, somebody imagined that
it's
thing.
Just my imagination once again.
Stephen Covey. We both love Stephen Covey. Stephen Covey says, live out of your imagination, not your history.
Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely.
Oh, that hit me.
I was listening this morning to Deepak Chopra, and he says in this one thing that I was listening to, he said that the person you were no longer exists. And who you are right now is only for a finite period of time. And who you want to be is who you imagine.
I like it. I'm glad you was able to recall all of that too.
You imagine.
I'm going to spend a lot of time sitting with the word imagination today because it's even a bigger concept than I thought when I suggested this topic. It's bigger.
Rochelle said, you were saying last night people on Clubhouse were selling themselves instead of sticking to topic. If their words on topic are great, they indeed do sell themselves. And I will check out their profile and follow or contact them.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Deborah says, I look forward to Saturday. I definitely need to spend some time imagining my life going forward at this time. Absolutely. Pastor George goes on to say, yes, we continued our lives. Church via conference call, Bible study. And what was amazing is people didn't know we had it and were asking us to pray for them.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
That is amazing.
Absolutely.
Actually, I like that part of it. I got to do one more quote. Muhammad Ali is, we was in, yesterday we hosted our V Team. Every Wednesday at noon, we host an online networking group called V Team, Lisa and I. It's
an international networking group, but really for people who have services that they offer that can transcend
geography. If you have a business that can be anywhere,
right?
That you could serve clients anywhere on the globe,
right?
So it's a great networking group. We've been doing it for a while now. Every Wednesday at 12, and if you're interested in that, raise your hand. We'll help you. But the question of the day yesterday was, who has inspired you in your life? Who's inspired? And my person was Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. But Muhammad Ali has this quote: "The man who has no imagination has no wings." The one who has no imagination has no wings. What? You have to imagine being a world champion before you can be a world champion. Mm-hmm. You got to imagine. Oh man, there was another quote we got.
You got to imagine succeeding in order to succeed. If you don't believe it, you cannot manifest it. If you do not believe it, you cannot manifest it.
This coffee was great this morning.
Understand that I'm grateful that there are two of us. That's one of the benefits of marriage, right? The benefits of marriage for me are that when your imagination is not vivid enough, when your faith is not strong enough. And understand, and I will say this again, over and over again, my faith is in God. My husband's faith is in God. But I am grateful that God has given each of us to rely on one another's faith in God.
Yes.
Right? Understand that it's still in God. I don't displace or misplace my faith. I have tremendous faith in my husband and the things and the responsibilities that he is called to do, but I also have faith in his faith. And I hope that makes sense to someone. Rochelle says, I love Muhammad Ali. He's my go-to for my students to illustrate character. Amen.
I love it. Love it.
Amen. Amen.
Dr. Beverly says, and speaking of wings without imagination, that's why I love Lisa's song, Lisa is on Fire. Yes.
Lisa is on fire. Lisa is on fire.
It's 9:38. We should probably do our greeting songs right now.
Fire.
Let's do it. Thank you, Dr. Beverly, for steering us back to where we're supposed to be. Because she's looking at the clock saying, you know what? They should be doing greeting songs now. Imagine all the people living life today. Come on. Man.
Living life today.
You know, I want to like that song more than I do. But they got a lyric in the song I don't like.
Well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's your fault. You listen to it daggone hard.
I do. I listen to all the lyrics.
Can mess up. He can mess up Tony. He can mess
I'm not messing up anybody's song.
You can mess anybody up. If you can mess up, oh my goodness, what is his name? Babyface. If you can mess up Babyface, you can mess up Babyface. Yes, you do.
I listen to the lyrics, okay?
You mess them up.
And I know what they're talking about. And at least I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about or singing about when they sing their song. And I know there's some singers laugh at people for slow dragging off some of the songs they're singing. I know Maxwell giggles his butt off, or I imagine Maxwell giggles his butt off when women put on wings to come to his concert.
Pretty wings.
Do y'all even know what I'm singing about? It's a dump you song. Oh my God.
But I love it. You know, our favorite song is Meet Me at the Altar in Your White Dress.
Thug ballads. Come on. We ain't getting no younger.
So we might as well do this.
See, I listen to all the lyrics, okay? But
and
that
he
song,
messes it up.
Imagine by John Lennon. I like this. I mean, I like so much of the song. But then he's talking about, imagine there's no religion. You know, imagine there's no religion, how the world would be better if there's no religion.
It would be.
If there was no religion?
Absolutely. Religion is an atrocity.
Okay, break it down.
Religion is an atrocity. And it didn't start out that way. Religion was simply man's attempt to communicate what they had learned about God that may have worked for them and deciding that that was the way that it should work.
Okay.
God is everywhere. He is in each and every one of us. And he is more interested in your relationship than your religion.
Maybe, you know what, baby? You just turned me on.
So like the song again.
I'm going to listen to it again. I'll find another line I don't like. But this show is called Let's Talk About It. Thank you for joining us. That beautiful lady sitting next to me, her name is Lisa Santiago McNeill.
Thank you, Pastor George. He says, say that again, Lisa.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm telling you, listen, I understand that we have begun to equate religion with positive. Maybe 10 years ago, religion was a positive thing. But understand, religion has caused so much division, so much hatred, so much hurt, so much
that's
pain.
What John Lennon is saying.
Absolutely. So much division that I cannot possibly believe that even those that created religion, I don't think that that was their intention, understand that the bastardization of anything can make it worse. And that's right, Dr. Deborah. God never had a religion.
Ooh.
He never had a religion.
Pastor George Allen says, I have enjoyed the conversation. You guys rock. Thank you, sir. Sister Jacqueline Rosier, thank you for popping in. She goes, Arizona Morning Empowerment Duo made it at the last minute. We happy that you are. We're about to do greeting songs.
Yes.
Lisa said again, and God never had a religion. That's a profound point to me too. So what we're about to do, our show's been going since October of 2016. Yes, we have. Monday through Friday. Yes, we have. And last month was the first time we took a week off.
Yes,
For the
in
show.
5 years.
In 5 years.
Woohoo!
But we love doing it. This show is about personal conversations,
Business information,
and spiritual inspiration.
with a little bit of shenanigans thrown in.
Together, we make up what's called the Empowerment Duo.
I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And I'm Brian K. McNeill, and we do have an expressed ministry. Our ministry is
Economic independence
through
entrepreneurship.
That's it. Economic independence through entrepreneurship. And some of you guys have been rocking with us for years.
Absolutely.
Some of you guys are consistent contributors to the show. The show does not work without your contributions, period.
Absolutely.
And the way we like to thank you guys for your consistent contributions and time with us is with a greeting song or a greeting logo.
Mm-hmm.
And the first person up today is Miss Phyllis George. And it goes a little something like, Miss Phyllis is here.
Good morning,
So
Miss
clear
Phyllis.
the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis.
Good morning. Good morning.
Miss Vivian Reed is here.
Vivian Reed is here. Vivian Reed is here, and now the show can go on.
Pastor George, we got to get a jam for you. Recommend something. You've been around us long enough. Recommend something we can find. You got one for him?
No, I thought I did, but it just lost it. It slipped out.
Yeah, I see you had that look on your face.
I know. I
All right.
know.
Dr. Beverly's here. Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly.
Absolutely.
Rochelle Gray's here. What you want? Rochelle Gray's got it. What you need? You know Rose got it. All she's asking is for a little respect when you come home.
Hey, baby, for a little respect.
What you want? Rochelle Gray's got it.
That's right. That is right. I am glad that you were able to join us today. I know we have Dr. Deborah here. Dr. Deborah, healing and deliverance coach.
Good morning, Dr. Deborah. We got Stephanie Mars here as well.
Stephanie,
life has new meaning
to me.
There is beauty up above and things we never take notice of. You wake up and Stephanie, you're in love. Did I? Go ahead, scroll, baby.
So the next one is, I think it's Jacqueline. I think it was Jacqueline.
Yeah, it's Jacqueline. I see Couture swung in the room too.
Yes.
Let's go with Jacqueline.
Jacqueline Rosie, pretty little girl that I adore. You're the only one my heart beats for. How I wish that you were mine.
Good morning, Miss Jacqueline Rosier. Miss Jacqueline Rosier has been showing up and see, this is the thing when you guys show up regularly. We act like we get to know you a little bit. And you guys act like y'all get to know us a little bit too.
Absolutely.
So we like you coming through here, Jacqueline Rosier. And back to life, back to Couture Green.
However do you want it?
However do you need it?
Do you need it?
Good morning, Couture Green. She says, I'm so late.
You're not late. We don't dock you, but we're grateful that you showed up today.
Couture, we are talking about the power of imagination. All the cool stuff in your life, is it fair to say, Lisa?
What?
All the good stuff in your life is a result of your imagination, and all the bad stuff is too.
Well, I think that it is, I would be conscientious to say the bad stuff too.
Okay.
But I would rather say that the most amazing things that have happened to us happened with intention.
Mm-hmm.
You very seldom create something of joy or of beauty or of accomplishment by happenstance.
I don't believe you do. I tell our clients all the time, you can't make the kind of money you say you want to make by accident. You can only make the kind of money you say you want to make on purpose.
Yes,
only.
Absolutely. So That being said, you guys know that tomorrow is Shout It Out Friday. I really, really, really want you to come prepared to shout out your business. We did your song, Rochelle.
We did your song
We
big
did
time.
your song. We did it big.
We did it with enthusiasm. Where were you?
Yes, you must have blacked out. I don't know. I don't understand. We did your song. I want you to come prepared to shout out another business.
Oh.
I want you, so shout out your own business. I want you to come prepared to shout out another business, a business that you have used in the past, that you enjoyed, and that you would recommend.
And I like when you shout out your week. How was your week?
Yes. What did you accomplish that you're particularly proud
what do you want to highlight
or fond of?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That you found good this week,
Absolutely. That you can share with the audience. Rochelle said transitioning from the driver to the passenger seat. Well, that's your fault. We sang your song.
We did. We even talked about singing your song. Come on, girl.
Good morning. She's turned over the driver's seat you turned it over to Katie. She, I prefer not to drive.
Ever. Really shocking to hear this. This is news to me. Wow. I didn't even know that.
No, thank you.
I didn't even know that. Wow. Lisa don't drive like that. Okay. No. But anyway, this is Thursday. Okay. And if you're a Sagittarius, Thursdays are your lucky day, right?
I love that you love that.
I do.
It's okay. And whatever day you want to proclaim as your favorite day.
I read it.
I know you did. I know you did. And that's okay.
I'm excited about today myself because today at 2:00 today, I get to address the networking group for 35 minutes to give my talk. And I'm going to use it to promote. I'm going to give them some value, but I'm going to use it to promote my upcoming course. I have a course that starts on August the 2nd called the Sales Confidence Course. It's a 5-week, 5-session curriculum intensive. It's an intensive, a lot of content, a lot of perspective within a short time period. And I'm excited about it too. So I get to speak at 2:00 today, but at 7 p.m. tonight, I get to do a 45-minute talk for the Black Speakers Network. Their network is over 10,000 Black speakers are part of the Black Speakers Network. I don't know how many of them are going to be in my class tonight, but this is their monthly training session, and I'm the speaker for this month's training. And I'm going to talk about how to get a client no BS. I'm going to do that tonight. And I'm going to also sell and promote my August 2nd thing to them tonight as well. So today I got 2 times that I get to shine. Okay. And I'm excited about it too. I'm ready for both of them. Both of those are audiences that I want to be in front of.
Absolutely.
So pray for me. Pray for me. Wish me luck.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
2 and 7.
2 and 7. And you are going to rock.
I want to rock them, baby.
Both of them.
I want to rock both of them.
Jacqueline,
I want to rock right now.
Jacqueline says she's excited to listen to the entire conversation today. Her imagination is something else, and having twins made me an expert.
There's a special place in heaven for people that are twins.
For mothers of twins.
And triplets.
I knew someone who had triplets naturally.
There's a special place in heaven for
Yes, them. Absolutely. They went to school with
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Ms. Vivian. And thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate that. I'm telling you, prayer matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, babe? And I know you know. We can feel your prayers. I know when people have said to me that they're praying for me at a certain time or going to pray for me, it infuses me. And I'm going to tell you, I need your prayers. I need all the prayers that I can get.
Absolutely. We all do. And we encourage you that when you are having trouble with your imagination, begin to imagine someone else and how they can be blessed. Begin to imagine thankfulness or gratefulness for something that you already have or accomplished, have achieved. When your imagination is stuck, use again the Visio Divina exercise to take time to look at something with the eyes of God and seek the beauty within it.
Earlier this week, I was talking about prayer. I had an opportunity to pray with a stranger. Okay. And the interesting thing was I was in my car talking to my wife, and a stranger approached my car, and I had an opportunity to pray for him. Now, I told the story earlier this week, but I'm curious now, from your vantage point, because you were on the phone while this was going on. How did you see that scene unfold?
Well,
what did you think was going on?
So at first my visceral response was a prayer of protection over you.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that person. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how they approached the car. I also didn't understand why your window was down. There was some moments that I began to.
I wrote it down when he came up.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. I didn't understand why you did that. Like all of these things. Like, why doesn't he just pull off? What is he doing? Like, there was a couple of moments that I just had to put a prayer of protection out over my husband. And then as you were drawn into what the man was saying, I had to trust your Holy Spirit.
Okay.
And so I began to touch and agree with you for the short period of time that I was there, that that God's will would prevail, that there would be an exchange of a spirit in that moment, and that God would be able to use you to help this man. And at that point, you disengaged the call, which is also, it was for a moment of unsettling. It was a moment of being unsettled there. But because of Male Empowerment Networks, I realized that there are also some things sometimes in some places that I cannot be.
That's interesting. The whole thing you just said there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I once again recoiled. I did not allow my imagination to go down the path of, oh my God, I can't see my husband. I can't hear him. I don't know what this stranger is doing with him or to him or whatever. To the exact opposite. Lord, I thank you for using my husband to be a lamp, to be an attraction magnet that this person would be compelled to come over and seek prayer from. You weren't wearing your collar. You weren't
wearing a white t-shirt.
Yeah, you were bummy. So
true.
It's true. He's bummy. He don't leave the house with me bummy. But when he running out by himself, he'll go bummy and come back in.
It was after 8 o'clock too.
I don't give a rat's foot.
It was
when
after
you leave
8
this
o'clock.
house, you don't leave bummy.
It was after 8 o'clock. I was just going to go grab a few
he left
things.
Bummy with a t-shirt and sweatpants on. But anyway, I believed God that the moment was divinely designed, and that everything was working out exactly as the way it should.
Amen. It's 8:55. We got to go. I pray you guys, I pray that you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for those of you who are willing to pray for me today at 2 and 7. Thank you, Lord. Amen. You guys have a beautiful day. Go ahead, Lisa.
It's 9:55 on a Thursday. You might as well go have sex.
Peace.
It really is.